Have you ever wondered why some people have all the luck when it comes to manifesting their desires? What if I told you the secret to their success lies in a simple set of principles outlined in an ancient text called the Kybalion? By understanding and applying these teachings, you too can tap into the power of manifestation and bring abundance and happiness into your life. Welcome to the Gifted Goddess podcast. It's your host, Idol, where we have conversations on how to rearrange your life the way you want it. Today, we'll dive straight into the ancient wisdom of the Kybalion. The Kybalion is a book written by the three initiates that outlines 7 principles of the universe that can be used to understand and control the laws of the universe. We'll briefly look into the 7 principles as a bite-sized study guide and how we can use them to manifest our desired outcomes. The all is mind, the universe is mental. The first principle we'll discuss is the principle of mentalism. This principle teaches us that everything in the universe is mental in nature, including matter and energy. By understanding this principle, we can focus our thoughts and beliefs towards our desired outcome, thereby manifesting our desire. I spoke about this in a previous episode. I'll link the episode down below. The episode is titled Think and Grow Rich and How It's a Spiritual Book. They are going to detail in regards to thought forms and how thought forms create our reality. And this is essentially what this first principle is referring to, the thought forms that create our physical reality. So check it out in the description below. As above, so below. As below, so above. The second principle is the principle of correspondence. This principle states that there is correspondence between the mental and the physical realm. By aligning our thoughts and beliefs with our desired outcome, we can bring those outcomes into physical 3D manifestation. In that podcast episode, we'll explore how we can practice that principle in our daily lives. I personally like to say, as above, so below, as within, so without. Think of the notion of you are what you eat. When you're eating nutritious, vitamin and mineral enriched foods, that is healing your immune system, healing your body, healing your inner cells, but also it has a positive effect on your outer self, meaning your appearance, healthy glowing skin, your hair's healthy, your nails are healthy, you're essentially just glowing with health. Your aura is also then healthy, essentially healthy. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The third principle is the principle of vibration. This principle states that everything in the universe is in constant vibration, in constant motion. By understanding and manipulating the frequencies of our thoughts and emotions, we can attract positive experiences and outcomes into our lives. In that podcast episode, we will break down and explore how we can use this principle to improve our manifestation skills. Think of music. With music, you might wake up feeling low, feeling some kind of way, and then you put on your favorite song or you put on some kind of playlist, and then within a couple of minutes, you feel elevated, you feel lifted. Perfect example is Bob Marley. Bob Marley is known to use the 432 hertz frequency. And this frequency is known to fill the mind with a sense of peace and well-being. Music that has been tuned to the scientific 432 hertz frequency releases actually emotional blockages and is said to benefit us humans the most, which is why after listening to a certain song, you feel uplifted. Like everything, all your worries, all these emotional baggages have been like drained away. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The fourth principle is the principle of polarity. This principle states that everything in the universe has its opposite. By embracing both the positive and negative aspects of life and seeing them as complementary, we can manifest a harmonious balance in our life. we'll explore how we can use this principle to improve our overall well-being. If you're thinking about the principle of polarity, think of alchemy, how you can take something that's negative and turn it into a positive. And also temperatures, hot and cold. For example, last year when I was in Colombia, I absolutely loved the weather. The weather was beautiful. Like, it was hot, it was nice, it was comfortable. But some of the people I was with, they complained. They didn't like it. They were like, it's too hot. And they would not go out until a certain time in the day where the sun is not at its peakest. But for that reason, you can see that temperature is one metric, but the degree is due to personal preference. So I might find 35, 40 degrees comfortable. Somebody else might find that very uncomfortable. Likewise, they might find -10 comfortable, and I might be like, -10, I'm not stepping out. If you're enjoying today's podcast, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you can bless somebody else's timeline with this video. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. The fifth principle is the principle of rhythm. This principle states that everything in the universe moves in cycles of giving and receiving. By understanding and aligning with this rhythm, we can manifest abundance and success into all areas of our life. In that podcast episode, we'll explore how we can use this principle to bring more balance and harmony into our lives. Think about karma. Most people think karma is due to the actions you take. Karma is not just due to the actions you take, it's due to what is in your inner self. So for example, if you are forming actions and within your heart you're feeling like, I'm only doing this because this is what good people are supposed to do, or I'm only doing this so it looks like I'm good, you are doing it with a poisonous heart. Your actions are already poisoned because the inner self, the core self of you, is not believing that you're doing this action out of pure intent. You're not doing the action out of pure intent. You're doing the action on a 3D level to look good or to appear some type of way. But when you're performing actions and being of service, you do it with a wholesome, pure heart. And that way, that karma will come back to you. But you're not doing it in the sense as in, okay, I'm going to serve because I know when I serve, the blessings come back. You just do it because that is what you were being called to do. And then that is how the blessings are then bestowed upon you. Principle of rhythm, give and take, because that's karma. So most people perform actions from a 3D level when karma in fact has to do with your inner identity. When you're performing this, what is your spirit saying? Is your spirit giving with a blissful, joyful heart, with an open heart? Or is it like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm doing this because I have to? Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. The sixth principle in the Kybalion is the principle of cause and effect. This principle states that every effect in the universe has a cause, and that our thoughts and actions are the cause that create our experience and outcomes. In that podcast episode, we'll explore and discuss how this principle relates to the law of attraction and how we can use it to attract the experience and outcomes that we desire. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principle. Gender manifests on all planes. The seventh and final principle from the Kybalion is the principle of gender. This principle states that everything in the universe has both male and female aspects. Everything has masculine and feminine aspects, and that these aspects work together to create balance and harmony. For example, in your personal life, you can balance your masculine, your logic side, and your feminine, your intuitive side, to create that balance within your life. This lesson reminds us to strive for balance in all aspects of our lives. With the principle of gender, think about manifestation. When you're trying to manifest, you need both masculine and feminine qualities to manifest. You need to, one, know what you want, have a plan of action. When you're performing action, that is the masculine energy. And then you need to infuse it with emotion and see yourself in that visualization. See yourself in that new position that you want to be in. See yourself in your house. See yourself, having that joy and bliss, feeling content, and bringing that emotion into the now. And that is the intuitive side. That is the feminine aspect. So you need both masculine and feminine to manifest. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're interested in a further detailed breakdown of each principle and some real-world examples, check out the playlist here. That is it for today's episode of the Gifted Goddess podcast with the quick study guide. Be sure to look out for future episodes in which we go into a detailed breakdown of each principle and how we can apply them to our lives. You can start utilizing some of these teachings already to improve your manifestation skills. And by understanding and applying these principles outlined in the Kybalion, you can tap into its powers and bring abundance, happiness, and bliss into your life. Until next time, keep manifesting your dreams. Love and light, my loves. Ciao.